I'm Nicole and I'm a graduate student at UT. My parents and I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you how pancreatic cancer has affected our family. Each of us are going to share a little bit about our story. I'm assuming you've heard cancer sucks. It's not a secret, but chances are you haven't heard how much pancreatic cancer sucks. It's not a cancer that you really hear much about, and besides Patrick Swayze and Steve Jobs, there's not much media coverage. The National Cancer Institute stated that there were 43,000 new cases of pancreatic cancer in 2010 and almost 37,000 deaths. These numbers are increasing every year. Currently, there's about a 5% chance of a 5-year survival rate. Prognosis is usually poor with a diagnosis, and complete remission remains rare. Although pancreatic cancer accounts for 3% of all new cases of cancer in the United States each year, it's the 4th leading cause of cancer death among both males and females. Clearly, research and funding needs to be increased. The Pancreatic Cancer Action Network and agencies like it can help raise awareness on just how detrimental pancreatic cancer can be. With an increase in funding and awareness, I really feel that we can get the word out and help to create one day a cure for pancreatic cancer. My dad is actually the one diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, but it affects my whole family. Growing up, I was the ultimate daddy's girl. I would and still will do anything for my dad. He's the strongest person I know. So as you can imagine, hearing that the strongest person you know has a cancer like pancreatic, it was pretty devastating. The first thing I did was Google it. Horrible. The first thing that popped up, I remember seeing really scary death statistics, and not the best thing to do. Don't do that. You probably already did. I feel like the first year was really trying to figure out my role and how I was going to play the part as the daughter of somebody who has pancreatic cancer. I immediately was going to move home, drop out of school, and make it my life, and my dad told me not to. And it wasn't until May of 2007, so about a year after I found out, that it really was a slap in the face. It was a day-to-day basis, but it was always something in the back of my mind. My dad was on an intense chemotherapy, and I would talk to him every day, and I knew he was okay. We had a schedule. It wasn't anything crazy. We kind of knew what to expect. Then in May, we found out he would have his first surgery. It was about a week before I was supposed to graduate college, and the doctors assured us that he was going to be able to watch me walk across the stage. But the fact that surgery is complicated, and he actually had a lot of complications, there was a chance that he wasn't going to be able to watch me walk across the stage. He was very weak, shouldn't have been there, borrowed a wheelchair, but he made it, and I have never been more proud, not of myself, but of my dad. He knew how much it meant to me to have him there on my graduation day. Since 2007, his outlook on life has changed dramatically. He loves life. He is 100% sure that he will be cancer-free. He has all the faith in the world that he is going to overcome this disease. He tells me all the time, Nikki, life is too short. In the blink of an eye, your whole life can change, and we know that, firsthand. My parents together are amazing. My mom is the most supportive person of my dad. They give me the faith that we have been blessed with cancer. Cancer has changed our lives tremendously. Often I find myself stressed over school or over a relationship or something silly, but at the end of the day, I know that the relationships I have, the people who support me and are there for me 100%, are worth more than anything I could have ever asked for. If I could leave you with one thing, don't let cancer ruin your life. You need support. You need the love of your family and friends. And with that, you will make it farther than you could have ever imagined. Each of my parents are going to kind of go through their experience And first we'll start out with my mom. Her name is Maureen. My parents' relationship is amazing, and I hope that you can get some inspiration from my mom and what she has to say about how pancreatic cancer has affected her.
When you first hear that word, cancer, it's life-changing, it's all-encompassing, it's overwhelming. We went through 4 months of testing. Mike had elevated gastrin levels. They recommended a acid reflux medicine, which he went on, and it made a world of difference. Those elevated gastrin levels were because of neuroendocrine gastrinoma that Mike had. He had tumors in his pancreas, in both lobes of his liver, and one in his aortic lymph node. Well, we went home that day in a daze. We went out back and just kind of like clung together and cried and made the decision that we were going to beat it, no matter what. You know, you go through a lot of denial, resentment, anger, and fear. The fear kind of stays with you because it's so unknown. Cancer doesn't discriminate. It hits rich, poor, young, old, all shapes and sizes. And it scares everyone. It doesn't matter who or what you are, it scares you. We were lucky enough to get referred to MD Anderson, where we saw a great oncologist, Dr. Alexandria Fan. She sent us home to do chemo in Laredo, and we had a local oncologist, Dr. Miranda, who was fantastic. I mean, coming into this and knowing nothing and having these people there for you was really important. So we started chemo, and Mike would sit for 4 hours a day for 5 days in a row, every third week. And they would intravenously pump this stuff into him. He would go home and be exhausted, no appetite, he would just fall asleep. And it was hard. And after a while, you know, his normal personality came out. It's real easy to get stuck in the poor me attitude and let the cancer dominate your life. Mike did that for a while, and then he kind of snapped out of it and realized that we were given this life, it's up to you to do what you can with it. So you prioritize your time. You don't waste time on things that don't really matter, and you learn to be thankful. You learn to be thankful for the everyday things, your family, the memories, each memory. That's what life's about. You learn to put the struggles aside. It's not that you're not going to have struggles, because you are going to have struggles. You're going to have regular life struggles that everybody has, but you're also going to have this. Mike's had 3 major operations. He's lost part of his pancreas, his gallbladder, his spleen. He's had the left lobe of his liver resectioned and the right lobe of his liver resectioned. He still has a aortic lymph node tumor that they need to shrink some more before they'll operate, and he has more coming back in his liver. We've been going through this for a long time. Parts of it are easy and others aren't. You need to be strong. You need to face every day. Be glad you're there. Find something to enjoy every day. You know, don't sweat the small stuff. Mike is a 5-year survivor and evidence that there is life after cancer. It's up to you to make it happen.
That was my mom, and I hope her story inspired you. Next up is my dad, Mike, and I'm actually 100% sure his story, if nothing else affects you, his story will.
My name's Mike. You just heard from my wife and my daughter, so there's no need for me to tell you what I've been through in the last 5 years. It was an awakening for me, cancer. It made me realize just how important this life we have is. I God every day I wake up and I mean honestly I just thank Him that I'm here. Every day to me is a gift, and I try to live my life as positive as I can. You know, every day is, you know, a gift, I understand, but it's hard to be positive all the time. I try. I really try. A few other things about my life now is, you know, I try not to do, you know, a lot of the bad things. I still gotta eat. I gotta eat better. Let me tell you, I gotta eat better. They're always after me about eating, but I do exercise a lot. I get a lot of sun. I like the vitamin D. I love my animals. If you have a chance, if you ever do get this or get sick, and you don't have anybody in your life, get a pet. My daughter, you know, she's had, let's see, 3 pets. Now we got all 3 dogs. Now I got 2 at my house, and we got the one that comes back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So if you do get into this situation like I am, and you really don't have somebody, you know, if you're by yourself, you know, get a pet because it's really unconditional love. I need that. I need as much love as I can get. You know, I'm just, I love the dogs, and I love my family, and what you give, you receive tenfold from everybody. And that's another reason why I think being positive is who wants to talk to a grouch? I mean, really, who wants to talk to a grouch? You ever go, you know, somebody's grouchy, you go the other way. You don't even want to talk to them. So I go into an area or go anywhere and try to be upbeat, try to be positive about my situation. I think being positive has really helped me survive this long. Once you give up, you're done. Let's face it, you're done if you give up. You know, I'm not gonna let my family down or myself down by giving up. It's really life-changing disease. And like I said before, you can either let it bring you down. You can be, oh, pity me, or all this, you know, and I've been there, but I've been in depression. Again, maybe that's why I enjoy life so much now. I feel so good right now in my life, right now, physically and mentally and emotionally, that maybe it took me all those 4 or 5 years of going through what I did in order to get to where I am today. And I am so happy that I'm here where I am. I wouldn't change anything. I really wouldn't change anything. I know it's tough, you know, it's hard to say. It's really a lot that I put through the family, you know, everybody went through a lot. But if anything, I would have changed, you know, a couple operations, maybe the chemo would have thrown out, you know, but I wouldn't, it got me to where I am today. It made me stronger, you know, and so it really did, and it made my family stronger. But, you know, what don't kill you, you know, will make you stronger. And believe me, you know, and that's a true statement. It really is, and I'm glad I'm here to tell you about it. So if there's not much more I have to say, you know, I just like to, you know, let everybody know that if you ever come, you know, into this situation, and you know, like where you have you lose somebody, or you know, or you have to go through, you know, some life-changing situation. Just remember that to stay positive. Life's about choices. Make a choice that's going to make you happy. That's important. Love is the most important thing in life. And if you stay positive, you'll have love.
Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright.